Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is Yukitsu Times. Welcome to my channel, welcome to a little bit of Battlefleet Gothic. So we're here and we're going to be trying to level up ourselves a Tau fleet again. I still say that to level up, the best way is to take the Cessias, so we're going to go ahead and do that definitely. And we're going to see if we can get ourselves up there to the levels of whatever. But for now, let's go ahead and pop ourselves a repair drone and a couple of these recon things here. So, yeah, this should be okay. Let's go ahead and hit search. It's not a whole lot that you can do right now, but we definitely want to focus the Cessias because things like the Dalith just are too expensive to take in most games in this stage of it. Because you take it and you could take like 2 messengers. That's really bad composition just for escorts. Probably going to be seeing a lot of Tau versus Tau. Oh, we're up against Space Marines. Interesting. Alright, let's go ahead and pick 2 of our ships there. Take a messenger as well. So it's going to be his long-range boarding torpedoes versus my long-range normal torpedoes. But yeah, should be interesting. See how this goes. I get the feeling like at this sort of stage, if my opponent takes the heavy cannon, the bombardment cannon variant, he's actually going to be able to beat me. But let's go ahead and switch it over to there. Grab up a couple of our ships here. And I kind of want to head over towards this gas cloud over here in a certain way, but let's not do that. Let's actually put these on opposite sides of one another. Alright. So, we got the messenger bonus here, which is going to be good. We've got 2 ships to destroy. Be interesting to see what they are. It's looking definitely as though he's got one of those ships hidden in that gas cloud, though. So we'll wait. I hear a recon beacon. I don't see a recon beacon. Did I miss it? Well, I see one now, definitely, but I thought I heard one earlier. Now, I actually have pretty good point defenses because of the messenger, increasing the abilities of these ships here. So it's basically like I've got 18 turrets instead of 9 on each of my ships, which is pretty good. The messenger itself, I think, starts with 2. Or 6, I mean. Yeah, it's 6 turret value by default on the messenger, so it's pretty good. Alright, he's far enough away from that gas cloud that I don't mind launching my own little recon probe there.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
But we managed to get outside the radius of that pretty well.
To spread the greater good.
Not bad, not bad. Let's see if he's too close to dodge ours. That would be nice. Looks like one of them has got the fighters.
Identified an enemy target.
Alright, let's target those shields there. I'm not sure if it's actually better to target the weapons on these guys. It might be. I'm not too afraid of the torpedoes from there, but that means that he doesn't have both Nova cannon ships. Or bombard cannon ships. One actually has the light prow lance. Interesting. Alright, so he's taking a little bit of damage there already. I took a little bit of damage there already. Alright, so what am I afraid of with ships like this? Not a lot, actually, honestly. So I think it might be a good idea for us to go ahead and use lock on here. Might have been better for me to use rapid reload. Yeah, sure. Let's focus this on. You know, quite smartly, my opponent is coming around my flanks here. So he's gotten behind this ship, which is not good for me, but we should be okay. Oh great, I lost my prow. That means I lost quite a lot of my defense there. Still, a lot of offense left on this ship here. Should be okay.
At your orders,
Can keep on with what we've got here, I think. That's good.
Triumph for the set.
Let's go ahead hit our repair drones here.
At your orders, Kono. Honor the teachings of Viola.
Alright, getting another boring success there.
Last door sealed.
Alright, so there we go.
How may I serve the tower?
He's wasting some shots as well against my little escort there. Yeah, so very, very hard for him to defeat me in a gun-to-gun fight. I think that he needed to use, like, different guns there. I'm gonna probably even avoid having my escort be crippled here.
We serve the Kovadra.
Those are probably minimum arming range problems. Alright.
How may I serve the Tauba?
Yeah, no, that was easy. Ooh, he went Nova there. That could have been dangerous. Still, like, those repair drones kept me up in the fight for that sort of, like, long duration slog. I was just able to sort of slowly grind him down using those ion cannons that these ships have. And of course the torpedoes were helping quite a bit too, even though the damage per second on them is pretty bad. But the damage per second on the Space Marines is so bad as well. Like, they've got very, very low damage per second. What I should have done is had the one with the lances just go forward firing behavior and just stare at my ships straight ahead. Would have worked out a lot better for him, since the damage per second on those is a bit better than his broadsides against my front armor. Then got the other ship around behind me. Of course, I could have just turned to face his torpedo ship then if he did that, though. Alright, so we got some level ups here. And this is going to make our ships quite a lot stronger. It's nice as well that we got those kills. It gives us that renown boost. Ideally, we want a whole bunch of like level 2 ships with good experience kicks by the time we hit level 2, so looks like we're heading in that direction. So do we want to start off with the TOV, the marker drones, or the technical drones? I think that you want to start off with the marker drones. That extra critical chance isn't great for them, but it's pretty, like, they have so many guns that they'll eventually get them anyway. Get criticals anyway. And we definitely want to start with this, I feel. Because this is such a good early game kick to their capabilities there. Alright, so these ships should be pretty hard to kill at this point in time. Alright, we got another match right away. Let's see what we can manage. And this means that if I go Tau versus Tau, I'm going to be at a pretty big advantage if they don't have that upgrade. Which is possible. Yep, we're up against Tau. Alright, not a big surprise there. Let's see if we can get ourselves into a good position here. I'm actually wondering if you could do a Castellan spam as well, but they're pretty expensive. But they get 2 torpedoes per ship, whereas your Sacias only get 3. So it's slightly cheaper per torpedo to take the Castellans, and you don't really have to micro them that much. So you can take like a giant swarm of them and then some sort of ship to tank out front, detect, drop auger probes and stuff like that, and just let your torpedoes do the work. But I don't feel like the torpedoes are enough damage per second really to honestly get away with that. Lots of gas clouds on my opponent's side, and there's just the one on my side. I wish that it was sort of like more in the middle, but let's go ahead and drop our ships over here. Let's get the messenger in the middle again. Alright, so... And I feel like we should go ahead and go Montka again. Okay, so my opponent does have the drone, or the escort style build again. Again, I don't think that it's as good as taking the... As taking the 2 Sacias. Definitely feel like the Sacias are stronger. Alright. Want to wait till he breaks the cloud cover and gets a bit closer before we launch our recon probe. But should be pretty okay here. You don't actually really want to attack with the messenger, I find. I find it's best to keep your messenger sort of like close by in reserve, just so that it's doing its thing passively. And its damage is so bad anyway. It's 1 damage per second from the whole ship. That's pretty abysmal, so it's not really worth doing.
Ready for orders.
I think they've got a good cone of fire, though, at least.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Alright, so my opponent kind of out of the cloud cover. Can I do this and guarantee a hit? I can't guarantee a hit ever. Like, it's possible for... It's so easy to dodge these things if you're on the ball, but... For all I know, my opponent's just going to hit stealth after he gets hit by it anyway. Doesn't look like he's moved to evade it, though, so... Should be okay. Alright, so we're just going to stand here and wait until he comes closer. And I think we're going to, yeah.
Identified an enemy target.
I've identified a couple of those escorts.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
We'll go ahead and target that guy's shields as well. Looks like it's an unupgraded one. Messenger got left in the back there. That's not, it's not really a good idea.
How may I serve the Tauba?
Alright, so his little warden here is taking 0 damage, because that's sort of one of the things about this game, but what is this, the Daolith? Yep, it's the Daolith.
At your orders,
My guns should start firing pretty soon, but...
Gravitic drive engaged.
Let's see. There we go. Fortunately for him, he's braced for impact, so I'm not getting hits, but... we are hitting this ship here in the back, though. That's where my torpedoes were going. Looks like I've auto-set the priority somehow, which I don't remember doing, but whatever. Alright, so that's off of its little evasive maneuver there.
Targeting sensors lock on. We serve the Kovatra.
Alright, take out these escorts. And I should be able to shoot down more of these guys than normal because of the escorts, or the messenger that's nearby. Yeah, they didn't score any hits with that. Alright.
By my set, we shall attack.
I don't know where his escorts are. He's got a messenger back there. We can ignore the messengers because their damage per second is so low. Oh, you're treated. Damn it.
Ready for orders.
Alright. Ooh. Just avoiding the friendly fire there. This guy should go down pretty quickly.
As the ethereals wish.
Alright. Well, I'm going to take one of my ships and send it off towards this cloud over here.
The Tauva shall prosper.
The reason being, I don't know if my opponent is just trying to
The
hide away this
Imperials
last little
guide
escort
us.
somewhere. We'll send this one over this way, I think. Now, if my opponent has hit stealth, then this is going to be real problematic, because I'll have no idea
At
where
your
he's gone.
orders,
But
Koro. For Amba,
Yep.
it will be so.
trying to cheese me out there.
To spread the greater good. Honor the teachings of Viola.
I guess we can hit all ahead full. It's not like I'm really intimidated by a single escort. It's just a shame that my opponent's not going to give me very much renown here. Selfish bastard.
We serve the Kovatra.
Not sacrificing his ships to me, to my glorious fleet, to get me a whole bunch of renown.
Shift to optimal
Anyway.
combat speed.
Yeah, I'm really liking this combination of like Sacias and Messenger at this stage of the game. I just feel like it would probably go poorly for me if I was up against more aggressive fleets, against more aggressive admirals, especially Orks, or the possibly the Imperials, the Dauntless. The Dauntless is actually a very good ship.
Identified an enemy target.
I do actually appreciate that he's just running his ship in and suiciding rather than conceding. Like, it's a smart idea from his point of view too, because he gains more experience points and renown when you do this, even if you lose, and even if you lose all your ships, because like that last escort doesn't really matter. But yeah, so it's better to do it this way than it is to just let your ships get exploded running by conceding anyway. All right. And that should unlock our Protector class ships, so... Definitely feeling like I've got an effective fleet composition here for the early game for all of you guys starting out here. Didn't get that much renown, though, because you obviously failed to destroy their main ship. That was the brunt of their points, I guess. I don't actually know how that gets calculated. Maybe the mantas were worth the 30 whatever each. If that is the case, then, you know, I actually got a pretty decent amount there. Alright. Definitely still think the Tulku is better of the two. Let's go ahead and grab this, and grab this. And I think that leaves me with enough to retrain one of these, but for now that's probably fine. Since we've got one that's got the repair drones, now we just keep our ships together, and we keep them so that when one of them starts getting a bit of damage, we can start popping a healing drone. Rather than using the healing skill, then we can save the healing for criticals. So we just pop those drones whenever we need them. Really, really good combination. I think we can get different objectives at this point in time, and I really do dislike non-cruiser clash sometimes, but alright, well, it's a cruiser clash, that's good. Unfortunately, I don't think I can afford to take my Protector and another ship here, so I could take the Protector and have it run against a Tau fleet, potentially having 2 ships, but it might be a bad idea. The damage per second on this guy, strictly speaking, isn't the best. But I kind of want to get levels on this guy, so it's kind of neither here nor there. The only problem, like the major problem with this, is that it does lack damage per second, so it's going to be worse in terms of that than my opponent's got. What my opponent's got, but those bomber runs, I guess, can be really, really meaningful. Alright, so we're just doing this to get experience for it. It's not actually recommended that you take this guy out in a 250 point battle. Just because, like, him plus 2 messengers is really, really crappy. If I'm lucky, my opponent relies very heavily on torpedoes and ordnance, as opposed to his macro weaponry. Alright. There's too many gas clouds right now for me to deploy that. So let's not worry about that just yet. Set everything to front facing. Alright, should be good. And yeah, hopefully the fact that this is a higher tier ship is going to be enough to deal with him. It looks like he's gone for the escort builds because he's got 4 ships. I'm hoping that doesn't mean like he's able to afford 2 Sasias and then 2 escorts. I don't think he should be able to afford that though. But I really have no idea what it could be that is allowing him to have 4 ships, unless he's putting in special orders for each of them and then deploying them? I don't know. Could start using Kayun pretty soon. It's just that I don't have really long-range ships just yet. You need more upgrades before you've really got that, but we are starting to get to the point where it could be useful. Like the Prow twin heavy railguns do benefit from that, so that's pretty okay.
As the ethereals
Alright, so what the hell could my opponent possibly have? I'm definitely feeling like he's got some escorts here.
The ethereals guide us.
Just have to make sure I don't run into any mines or anything like that.
For Anvar, it will be so.
We'll definitely want to fight from the gas clouds, though. It's probably going to be gas cloud to gas cloud combat.
Prosper.
Alright, so the problem here is, like, this only has 600 hit points compared to the 800 between 2 of the Sasias. If he's got that. And it's also less firepower than 2 Sasias. Like, 2 Sasias is way, way more firepower damage per second.
Drive engaged.
So. And it's looking... I don't know what this could possibly be. Could he seriously afford 3 Sasias? Because that would suck. Alright, here comes an incoming probe. I'm not too concerned about a probe,
To
but
spread
let's,
the greater
no reason
good.
to give him a vision there, so let's move out of the way of that. I'm not seeing... Okay, there is a carrier there. So yeah, he has gone to Daleth, and then maybe he's got the more expensive... He must have the more expensive... what's it called? I can't remember what the Warden?
For onward,
No, that's not it.
it
It's
will
the one
be
that has
so.
torpedoes, the... Alright, well I feel like I can actually just fight this guy head on then. Because he's only got like one cruiser, I've only got one
Gravitic
cruiser.
drive
But I've just got a much
engaged.
more powerful cruiser.
Honor the teachings of Viola.
Going to turn this off for a second here. I want to fire the torpedoes first, have him get distracted by those, and then launch my bombers.
Weapons hot.
Alright, perfectly willing to take this guy out first.
Drones have identified an enemy target.
Oh, there goes his bombers.
Core L ready.
I'm not too worried about just a fire here. What is this back there? Yeah, that is a Castellan. Okay.
Aircast ready for orders.
My engines. Shit.
Restore the Earth cast's construction. Backup sailing. Red lights on all panels.
Alright, let's just suicide this guy forward.
Crisis teams boarding enemy ship. How may I serve the Tauba?
Man, this guy's not taking any damage. Ugh,
Tauba shall prosper.
this guy's lucky.
Strike the killing blow.
This guy is very, very lucky, but that luck's not going to last him forever.
Core L ready.
Alright. Well, we're braced for impact. I need to clear this guy out, so... Probably... Oh, great. Another weapon destroyed.
Shift to optimal combat speed.
And my generators got destroyed. Great.
Target acquired.
Alright, so my terrible, terrible decision has, like, come back to, like, make this really a lot harder than it should be. But, he's down a lot of stuff. I should be able to win this one. Alright, there we go.
Initiating.
Stop. Stop doing that, you son of a bitch.
Weapons hot.
God.
At your orders, Koro.
Alright, so
We serve the Kovatra.
there we go. Close. I think we avoided heavy damage, but we might not have. My opponent was really lucky there. Jesus. Ugh. But yeah, Tulku just a little bit too much stronger for its points value there. Repair drones were helping. The fact that he focused on the messenger first helped, but he knocked out so many of my systems. Yeah, we aren't even heavily damaged yet. So that's a nice level on the Protector Tulku. Being able to upgrade this thing with the protective shields is just, yeah, gonna help a ton in those sort of situations. Definitely could have gone, that could have gone much, much worse, definitely. Alright, so this is still a really super important bonus there for these sort of ships. I don't find that the ship is like a truly dedicated carrier, but I still think the Corvette is still pretty good for them. I just don't like getting the upgrades for necessarily their carrier capacity. Like the Vanguard Void battlesuits are pretty okay, but it's only 2 boarding actions, which are not super, super good. But on something like the Custodian, like that becomes super crazy because it's 6 boarding actions. But over here you've got the energy shield. Like, it's not super important. It does help your fighter waves or your bomber waves get in because it includes 5 fighters, and I do believe that this includes those. And they take damage before your bomber does, so it's much, much more likely to get in. But again, it's only 2 bombers, so it's not really your main source of damage with your Tau fleets early on. Or at least I don't find it is, so I'm not too worried about that. Whereas the adaptive deflector here, just super, super, super powerful. Basically the mainstay of keeping my ships alive is being able to force opponents to attack the front of my ships by right-clicking theirs, making it so that I'm front facing. If he doesn't surround me properly, then it can really, really cause trouble. And once you get into larger games as well, if you have lots of ships, what you can do is have like a bunch of ships facing one way, tanking up shots, and then a bunch of ships facing the other way, tanking up shots. Works really, really well. We can actually afford a favor at this point in time. So I could give my Sasia, for example, Watercast or Firecast or Earthcast or Aircast. I really do feel like Earthcast is probably the strongest, but I actually had a lot of fun playing the Watercast on ranked, so we'll see what we're going to end up doing. I might try something like Firecast just to try something new, but we'll see how things go. Anyway, I hope you found this video enjoyable, and of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time.